There we are. Good
Yes.
afternoon. Welcome everybody to our Saturday Live. And today we are here with two very, very special people and one of my team members who's also very special. So we all know Shraddha. She has also hosted many lives for us. She's going to be my co-host today. And we have Qudrat and Aayush, and I think any introduction that I give for both of them is not going to be complete without listening to them talk. But I would like to start by sharing how the first time I met Qudrat. This was during the unschoolers camp. I was I had come to pick up Aditya from the camp, and first time in Udaipur, I didn't know my ways around, and I was in a auto trying to reach Shikshantar place, and I was lost. I was completely lost because that fellow kept taking me in between lanes, and that was when I spoke to Qudrat, and Qudrat spoke to the auto driver, and he got us to the right place. So that was how my introduction with Qudrat started, and it was first on the phone, and I could just see that my son Aditya was completely in awe of him. He said, Qudrat is the best. I want to be like him. Aditya was just around 12. He had just turned 12, and Qudrat was around 16, I think, right, at that time?
16,
Yeah.
17, I think.
Yes. And to introduce Ayush, I know his parents more than I know Ayush. I've closely interacted with Ashutosh and Vaishali. And yes, in fact, they both have been a huge inspiration, as well as they have taught me what unschooling means. And they have held my hand during my beginning phase. So I have great regards for both Vaishali and Ashutosh. And so I welcome both of you on our show, and I would like you both to introduce yourselves. So we could start with Qudrat, and then Ayush, you could say something about yourself too. Yes, Qudrat, over to you.
Uh, my name is Qudrat, and these days I don't identify as an unschooler, but yes, I'm an unschooler. Uh, I am a visual artist. I make films, I take photos, and I do anything that I want currently. And right now I'm learning music making and just just expressing my way through and figuring out life and the business world. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. And Ayush, what about you?
Um, I'm Ayush. I'm 18. I do stuff. Sometimes that's coding, sometimes that's drawing, sometimes that's music, either making or listening or just experimenting. And I think there's much more to say.
Right. Okay, so a thought came to my mind right when Kudrat was introducing himself, and he said that I don't consider myself as an unschooler now. So Kudrat, throw some light on that. Come on, yaar. अब तक तो बड़े unschooler करते फिरते
Yes.
थे. अब बोल रहे हो कि I'm not an unschooler. बोलो, what do you mean by that?
No, no. I said I don't identify as an unschooler.
Okay, identify as an unschooler. And what do you mean by that?
Uh, it means that so basically I don't associate with any community or any cult.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still part of it, but I don't
Okay.
associate and I don't bend my identity just because of that.
Mhm. Could you elaborate a little more? So, are you saying unschooling is a cult?
Uh, maybe yeah. No, no, I'm just kidding. Basically, so I was going through a lot of things like the past 2 years and realizing a lot of about myself and what I express and why I express that certain things. तो उसमें एक आया अनस्कूलिंग का पार्ट तो देन आई रियलाइज दैट unschooling is not just not going to school, and it was
Mm.
getting like that. So
Right.
I just wanted to go get out of it, and थोड़ा दूर community के रह के I just wanted to observe myself कि अच्छा क्या हो रहा है.
Mm.
तो after that I figured out कि अच्छा it's not all about unschooling, it's not all about me. So yeah, it's still going on. It's still an
Mhm.
identity crisis, but it's fun.
Mhm. Wow, that's intense. You seem to be in a phase where there is a lot of inner work that is happening. Mm. Right? Okay. So, you said something that really made a lot of sense to me, because this was told to me when I had started my journey also, that unschooling is not only about going to school. So maybe you can start, you can share about, either Ayush or you, what do you mean by unschooling? Like you're the child here, right? You were the child here, now an adult, but you were the child, and your parents said that y'all were unschooling. So what did unschooling mean for y'all? What was it for you?
Ayush can go.
Yeah. So at first it was just the hype, you can say, of just not schooling. Unschooling is just not schooling. Sort of that was the mentality. Um, it evolved. It changed into what is not schooling. What am I doing? Stuff like that. Questioning that, and then it led to questioning what is unschooling. Right now, I'm at a place where I myself and I'm slightly unclear on what exactly is the definition of unschooling. Like
Mhm.
Qudrat, and it's more so that nowadays, at least not nowadays, but a year ago, 2 years ago, if someone were to ask me, I would have a clear answer that unschooling is being aware. It's a seeking awareness, or seeking living not consciously but in an aware state, seeking that in my life. Nowadays that has also changed because everybody's aware to an extent. And what
Mhm.
at what degree do you define unschooling and not unschooling? And so, because another thing is like something some unschoolers like to say is, if an unschooler decides to go to school, they are still unschooling. So
Mhm.
you might have
Yes.
heard it quite often.
Oh, yes. I say it to my
Yeah.
son nowadays.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that phrase, it was more like, so then unschooling is not going to school. Unschooling is some sort of awareness. Even when you're going to school, you're sort of aware of why or what or all the factors, or at least a lot of the factors. So these days I don't know what unschooling is anymore, but there is some broad definition that I tried explaining.
Yeah, yeah. You brought out a very important point. It is about awareness, awareness of self, awareness of the your people around you, your neighborhood, your society. But it starts, I guess, for me, it starts with oneself. Whether you are aware of
Yeah.
yourself, what your needs are, what your wants are, what do you have the free will to make your choices? How do you make your decisions? How do you take into consideration everything that's happening around the world to make your own decisions and your own inner self too? So, yes, so awareness is a very important point that you have brought in. Kudrat, would you like to add something more to it?
Uh, so I was also confused about what it stands for right now, but uh, this was kind of clear from the beginning that it's the way it was for me and my brother, and how my mom and my dad just brought it naturally was that it's not something special. It's like life. तो वो शुरुआत से it was like a जीवन, not anything specific, not just not going to school or not just living life differently. It was just life itself. So, yeah. You're mute.
Ah. So, another very important point, that it is about life itself. It is not about whether you go to school or you don't go to school. It is about living your life. And in fact, उसी बात पे मुझे याद आता है कि Aditya used to always tell me that why do you make it into such a big thing? you know it's just we are doing what we want to. This is life for us. It's nothing great or nothing big or nothing different to be spoken about. So even today Aditya doesn't like talking about unschooling and so on, saying that this is my choice, my way of living. Everybody has their own way of living their life. Doesn't mean everybody is talking about it. So yes, true, it is about life. Shraddha, would you like to ask something over here?
Yeah. I felt that Qudrat and Ayush are both in the same phase right now. Uh, and I mean, there's nothing to ask, but I can understand what they are trying to say right now.
Yes, yes. That that's interesting. That's very true. So, okay, so moving on, let's understand a little about your unschooling journeys. So maybe we could start with Qudrat. Qudrat, I know you well. I know your mom well. I know your brother also very well. So I know that you've never been to school. So for you, how has your journey been so far? And how did things work out for you? So if you didn't go to school, how was it? How was it? You probably saw a lot of children getting ready, going to school when you were young. Would you ever feel that you want to go to school too, along with them? And so, just share a few snippets of your childhood around this.
Uh, so there are like two parts around this, and recently I've figured out that part. Uh, Previously in life, I wasn't being that honest when it came to unschooling. Uh, so there are, like I said, two parts, and I'm a big fan of yin yang. You know where I'm going. So it has been amazing, and I have been to school for 5 minutes. तो जब मैं छोटा था तब मुझे मेरे सारे दोस्त जा रहे थे तो ऐसे अच्छा ये लोग भी जा रहे हैं मुझे भी जाना है लाइक ए नॉर्मल किड वुड डू तो मैं गया फिर I went inside and I saw these people, someone writing on the board and some people like reading books. I got like a mini panic attack और मैं भाग गया उधर से and that's the तो उसके बाद मैंने I like took the decision कि अच्छा अभी नहीं जाना and I think I was 7. तो that's how it kind of struck and started. And ऐसा मुझे लगा कि अच्छा अब मेरे हाथ में decision. So I still remember that moment. It has been amazing. There has been a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of ups. Luckily, हमारा शुरुआत का बचपन was very nature. We used to stay in Swaraj, go to Shikshantar and travel a lot. And like that has kind of shaped everything. And that's why I'm very adaptable to almost any situation or any place. That's why I'm sitting in Pondicherry right now. Uh, so the freedom to travel or the freedom to go anywhere, that kind of changed everything. And travel has become like one of the crucial parts. Or
Mhm.
we have met so many communities that have helped us. Also, we have helped them. So a lot of learnings. Uh, when it comes to the other side, in the normal world, people are not. Let me put it this different. People are not that aware yet, or they are aware but they are scared of taking that leap yet. Uh, तो वहाँ पे दिक्कत आती है जब you have to interact or do something in the normal world. When you're a kid, now it's easier because you're an adult and blah blah blah. But जब बच्चे होते तो family members are scary as hell. they they threaten your parents. इसको
Mm.
स्कूल भेजो वरना तो हमारे तो पूरे दोनों साइड में इट्स लाइक अ लड़ाई because one is Gujarati and one is Malayali and both are like big for education. I'm like भाग जाओ इधर से. तो there are ups and downs, and I don't blame unschooling or my parents for that. I also don't blame society because वो उनका conditioning है. I don't know what to blame now. But it's like it's just like that. अब क्या कर सकते हैं? But I think that is changing. One more thing I would like to add in this case. Uh, it's also like a curse sometimes because you get to see the world दोनों नजरिए से. So when I saw this world कि क्रिएटर के लिए वर्ल्ड कैसा है या फिर एक छोटे आर्टिस्ट के लिए वर्ल्ड कैसा, तो इट्स लाइक इट पेन्स बिकॉज यू सी द रियलिटी और यू कम विद योर ओन परसेप्शन. सो उस हिसाब से लाइक इट्स वेरी डिप्रेसिंग. Like unschooling can be depressing, but that's also good because you can like you see the world as it is and you see the
Right.
society as it is. So while it's a
Mm.
curse, it's also like a blessing maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is becoming quite intense with so many interesting thoughts that you're putting across to people. So let's listen from Ayush also. Ayush to school gaya tha, right? When you were in the US, till you were around 7 or 8
Even
years old. Uh,
even in India, I had gone till fifth grade.
till fifth
Um,
grade. Okay.
yeah.
And then
So when I
Arohi happened.
was, yeah,
Uh-huh.
originally when I was in US, I was actually happy to go to school. I was enjoying school. I remember when I had come to India, it was terrifying to go to school in comparison to going to US. And I think my parents saw that, and that led to them exploring different areas. And Arohi had come up, and I remember in fifth grade, in after the winter vacation, I just decided not to go to school, not to go back. And then for half a year, I was doing nothing. They call it deschooling. A lot of people call
Mhm,
it deschooling, but
mhm, mhm,
I don't know. After that, I was the whole day I was sitting on a chair in front of a table and just doing nothing. And
mhm,
I believe I sort of needed that, but because then um, I went to Arohi for 2 years or 3 years. I believe that was a stepping stone. Um, it's not the end goal, at least not for me, because after
mhm,
that when I was an Arohi, it was, I mean, it was like a better school. It was like, it was still feeling like school in comparison to when I look back now. After shifting to Pune, and then like Arohi had the structure of a some structure, and then we shifted to Pune and it was like anarchy. Not in a chaotic sense, but in a sort of, you lose all structure, all the rules or anything that's binding you. So
mhm,
you do what you want. And what I wanted was, I don't know, I wanted to play video games the whole day. I wanted to make a chair, bamboo chair. I wanted to play around with motors and whatever. I don't know. I had some things which I was doing, but there was no compulsion to learn maths. There was no compulsion to, um, I don't know, clean the house or clean the room. There was no compulsion to sleep at this time and wake up at that time. Where some things were there in Arohi, some structure was still there.
right.
After that, when I got that freedom, sort of that anarchy, control, um, a lot of things started happening internally. When I got that control, there's something that changed after a year or 2 years or 3 years of getting that control. Was what am I sort of doing with it? If
Mhm,
it's, I don't know. And a sort of what should I be doing with it was also something that came up, but that also went away. And some thoughts coming and going, something like that. And then, I mean, I was inside the house. I mean, like in Pune, I didn't go out a lot. So for a good, I think I didn't go out a lot.
Yes, I
I
know.
didn't even come to your place or anything.
Yeah.
I was like that. I did not really want to socialize or even go outside a lot for a good 5 years. 5 years. Um, then I had the need to go out. I think in 2019. So I had gone to LSUC. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, I went to some workshop. I went to some other workshop, and then after that, in 2020, I had booked myself all the way till May, and
Yes.
that panned out well. Uh, but then I was again sitting at home. This time, I believe I was one of the few people who was actually used to it, while everybody
Mm-hmm.
else was experiencing it for the first time. And
Mm-hmm.
this opportunity came to come to Pondicherry, and I just took it because I had planned 2020 was like I was gonna go out, and it really felt like that, and it still happened. I mean, I'm still out.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I remember, Vaishali saying that no, Ayush likes his comfort zone and being at home, because there were many a times when I used to say, why doesn't he come? Why doesn't he come to the center? It'll be such a huge value addition, because I know you were into coding and you were into many different things at that time, carpentry and a lot of things. And I would always feel that you would be a great inspiration or a great role model for all the younger kids. And she said, no, but that's what he wants to be at home, and these are valuable lessons that I learned from Vaishali, that you have to believe and trust in your child. If they want to be at home, it is their right to be at home, and it is something they may not express it completely, but this is what they want, and you need to trust that feeling. So, and I also remember IDEC. I think that was the first time you stepped out, right? IDEC
Uh,
Bangalore, or
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and
actually, before that, we had gone on a trip to US, and there
right,
I had stepped out, and then there I
okay.
enjoyed stepping out. So then, when my mom said I'm going to IDEC, INDEC in
Mm-hmm.
Bangalore, so I was like, yeah, I have friends in Bangalore. I can also hop on, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Wow, lovely. And do you regret being away from your family now, or is this what you want? You're happy?
I mean, happy is a very broad term. I don't know if I'm happy, but I do not regret um,
Mm-hmm.
being here. And
Wow.
I don't think there are a lot of things I regret so
Mm-hmm.
much. Um,
Wow.
even not socializing, being in my comfort zone for a good 4 5 years, I do not regret that because that is what led me to come out,
Hmm.
sort of.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah.
That's one thing. I think even earlier, my mom, I think, realized that later on when I expressed it that I'll come out. But earlier she used to also try to get me out. We went to a
Hmm.
few museums, a few places here and there. We went to the I don't know. There was some ThoughtWorks thing. We had gone there. That's where I met Tejas and a few other people. We had gone, like, my mom introduced me to Qudrat and Avinash, like, much before I would
Hmm.
have naturally met them in my own,
Hmm.
like me sort of coming out and meeting them. So, um,
Hmm.
but then later on, my mom left me.
Yeah, she left you to do what you wanted. Yes, it's always it's a evolving journey for the parents too, right? Right. We also come with our own preconditioning and understanding about how things should be, and how uh, you know. Uh, it's always said that, oh, children have to play outside and they have to do this and they have to do that, and all this is there in our mind, and we forget to see what our child actually wants. And that's the deschooling process, I guess, that you were talking about, which takes years, and in fact it continues because you don't know what conditioning is going to come across, and how it is going to bother you later on. So moving on, most parents have this question, that when you have opted for a life out of school, then what about getting those qualifications to be able to get a job or to get work? So what is your take on it? What do you both feel about it?
By qualifications, if you mean like college degree or college, which I
Mm-hmm.
assume you do. I mean, a lot of people,
Yes, right
that's
now
what they mean.
I
Yeah.
am. Because I've
Um,
put myself in the shoes of all the popular people, no, all
and
around us. Yeah.
everybody, almost.
Yes.
Um, so I have a lot of feelings regarding this. Recently, two of my like family members like of my age, uh, relatives, they came to me. I mean, they were talking to me and they were taking 10th and they were taking like, they were looking at what college to go to and stuff. So that is sort of made me confident in my choice not to go to college because anyways, let me try to explain. So it a lot of the value in degree comes from the hurdles to get it, not like know a certain amount is what is the precedent, like you have to know this, you have to know that, and that qualification is a proof of knowledge sort of. I know that, I know this, but you look at it these days, and one of my relatives, he has paid some agency to get admission into college. He has paid, and the agency tells him, well, it would be nice to have some certification of some course on your this, I don't know, history or your experience, and it would be nice to have this, know how to write essays and stuff like that. And the other one asks me, so like, I need good marks, because all these colleges, they only look by marks, they do not look by your actual skill. And I'm like, why? Well, then why are you going to the college? Because then the college has failed, and then the people who are hiring would also realize that. I mean, like, not everybody, of course, but you'll have a substantial amount that realize based on these cases that, okay, well, college has failed in providing the proof of knowledge that it claimed to provide. When someone can buy their way into college when they don't have the knowledge, and someone who has the knowledge is not able to get into college because they don't have the marks or whatever ranks or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
um so I've when I was at this place, at the age of 14, um it was a dilemma in my house, like whether I should go to get a 10th or not. It was not even college. Like, my parents were like, you don't have to go to college, but my dad was like, it would be nice if you had 10th. So, but my counter action to that was like, I would spend 3 years, 2 years trying to get a 10th um, degree, because I am that far behind and I have to catch up that much, and then I have to know all this and then put the exam, and if I fail, then another year, then whatever. So I said that I can just spend that time doing what I'm doing, and putting that as my experience. That's
Yeah.
my proof of knowledge. I can start documenting that. I didn't start
Mm.
documenting that, but that's something I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So rather spend the time in excelling in whatever you are interested in instead of giving certain exams that just show that I am I have this knowledge, right? So that's what you're saying. What do you have to say, Qudrat? What do you feel about all this?
Uh, so we were pretty clear from the start that के 10th 11th और ये सब तो नहीं करना. And we
Mm-hmm.
were very adamant about it. We
Hmm.
were very loud about it. तो uh, जैसे मैं देखता हूँ, it doesn't, for me it doesn't make sense. Like I've made the decision not to go to college, and बहुत पहले when I was 10. So I think it's working. Even if I went to college, I would have been in the same place. It is working out for me. One thing is there that एक मुझे मेरा दोस्त पूछता है, but what about the like some programs which you can't enter without degree, like let's say if you want to become a doctor or a space guy or whatever, astronaut. So I didn't have the answer to that, but one of my friends said you can still be a doctor, you can go to a village and start your career there and start treating people. And some of my friends actually did that, and they're kind of happy with it. So I certainly don't believe that you need any qualifications to do anything, because जिस तरीके से दुनिया बन रही है, people are earning from making TikToks. So I mean, I don't have anything else to say. It's
Hmm.
it's just the world is too big, and everyone knows that college is failing and schools are failing, and it doesn't make
Hmm.
any sense to put your time there. It makes sense to do whatever you want to do, because it's surprisingly environment is ending. So that's all.
Yes, yes. True. And in fact, y'all are a living example, right? Y'all are struggling, but y'all are finding work and y'all are
Yeah.
living independently. What I understand, y'all are not dependent financially on anybody right now. Y'all, so yes, y'all have different parameters for success. Yes, I'm sure it won't be as similar to what any person who goes to college and then gets a degree and a job and then a family, house, children would have. But definitely, y'all are at the age of 18 and 21, y'all are leading an independent life. And that itself is a proof that you don't need degrees. Mm,
I'm not.
okay. Yes,
I'm.
Ayush.
I want to correct so that it's not misinformation. But I'm not
Okay.
completely independent.
Okay.
But I'm on the journey.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a
That.
journey. You don't
Mhm.
reach there overnight.
True, you don't reach there overnight. And uh, we all, in fact, who says that people who are earning good salaries don't fall back on somebody else for support? Everybody does. And it could be financial support or some other support. And there could be. So, definitely, we live in a world where we are interdependent and we need connections, we need family, we need love, all that. So, yes, I do understand. But yeah. Mm, okay. So, uh, yes, Shraddha, you have something? I
I
can
would
see that.
like to ask Qudrat that he's from Ahmedabad and he has been to Shikshantar Udaipur. Now he is in Pondicherry. And where else have you traveled? And tell us your travel story.
Uh, I can tell you where I've not been. So I've not been to the northeast and the Calcutta. उसके अलावा हर स्टेट में दो दो सिटी में मैं जाके आया हूँ.
Yeah.
Uh, और it's not the like plane वेन में नहीं, मतलब local बस लेके, because there are some places where you can't find planes or trains. Uh, I've been to पूरा almost India, बस केरला का थोड़ा region बाकी है, or northeast बाकी है. That's all it.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sure Ladakh also.
Oh yes, sorry, हाँ लद्दाख की बात है. मतलब उसके border पे हो गया पर उधर जाना yes बाकी.
Mhm. In fact, there was this families learning together that was organized, and Sumi Qudrat's mom had shared her experience of unschooling, and she said that Qudrat was around 7 or 8 years when he did his
8.
first journey alone. So, Kudra, tell us about it. How was that for you? I think with that began your journey of, traveling independently without
Uh,
adults with you,
without adults, without phone because yeah.
without phone.
तो या आई थिंक उसके भी पहले जब मैं 6 साल का था तो वी वेंट टू उदयपुर एंड सो पहली बार मैं अडल्ट्स के साथ गया दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट लीप एज ऐसे देन उसके बाद आई आई वांटेड टू लर्न दिस आर्ट फॉर्म इट वाज कॉल्ड वर्ली आर्ट इट्स स्टिल देयर महाराष्ट्र में तो आई वेंट टू नासिक इन अ लोक ऑन अ बस एंड देन अ लोकल बस या तो ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरा अकेले मतलब उन्होंने बात किया था दे हैड सेट इट अप कि अच्छा ये टाइम पे इधर पहुंचेगा तो उधर के उधर जाना देन सम पीपल विल कम एंड टेक यू बट इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग मतलब वहां से कीड़ा बैठ गया था कि अच्छा ओ आई कैन ट्रैवल अलोन दैट्स अ थिंग सो उसके बाद से फिर शुरू हुआ दैट इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम उदयपुर देन राजस्थान में कुछ जगह देन गुजरात में कुछ जगह देन मुंबई में कुछ जगह देन एमपी में कुछ जगह देन हिमाचल में कुछ जगह देन दिल्ली के पास तो इट जस्ट that just kicked it in and the best part was people were scared that I didn't have a phone but for me that was the best part because then I also didn't know how to read so I was talking to people and I was making a lot of friends तो मेरे लिए बिना फोन के जाने का मजा आता था because then I could just talk to anyone and ask them it's also dangerous but मेरे साथ ऐसा कभी हुआ नहीं है मतलब कि I asked someone and they gave me a misinformation because I was a kid so mostly they were shocked or they were really nice.
तो कभी डर नहीं लगा?
I think एक बार लगा था जब एक some bus driver was like drunk. एक बार मुझे लगा था तो but then I was just kind of having a panic attack and I just hid there and there was this person we just started talking to me and somehow we got to know कि अच्छा I'm going through something so we just started having a normal conversation and then I was all of a sudden okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, Ayush, where all have you been to so far now?
I mean, I started that whole craze of traveling quite late, 2020. So not a lot.
Yeah, pandemic ruined everything.
Yeah, before that, I had plans to go to Goa. I had plans to go to all these other places, and all I was able to go to was I wherever like LSUC was there.
Right.
Then before that, I went to Udaipur. And before that, we had the whole family had gone to Harihareshwar, and well, that was fun. But the travel from Udaipur, like that was my first journey alone. It was quite late in my life in comparison to Qudrat. But after that, I had also wanted to travel alone, sort of. After the fear had subsided. Before that, there's a lot of fear that, oh, I'm about to travel alone. Oh no, sort of. I don't know. Then I went to SAM alone. I went to LSUC alone, and then I was gonna go to Goa alone, or with Tejas, but that didn't go through because
Okay.
we were going to go to Avinash's place, and then lockdown hit. Then I came here. I didn't come here alone, but
Yeah, it wasn't possible at that time to come alone also. You came
yeah,
right during
yeah,
lockdown and
yeah.
yeah,
But
and
I
we
went back
followed
alone
you.
few days later. No,
Yeah.
a month later,
A
almost
month
exactly,
later, we followed. We
exactly.
did the exact same route as
Yeah.
you guys did. So, wow, wow. So, I when Qudrat shared about his travels, I heard him say something around, I didn't know how to read. And in fact, that is a big question, again, that many, many, many people who are exploring homeschooling, unschooling have, that अगर बच्चा स्कूल नहीं जाएगा या तो फिर हम उसे पढ़ना लिखना कैसे सिखाएं, हाउ डू दे लर्न टू रीड एंड राइट. And in fact, with Qudrat, he came from a Gujarati speaking background. He spoke Gujarati for a long, that was the only language, I think, main language in his life. Now he knows how many languages, Qudrat? Three, four?
Teen is enough. I mean, I know,
Three.
I know like bits of everything, but three
Ha,
like
tidbits of, but you can communicate at any point with anyone. So tell us, how did you learn to read and write?
uh, so I had no interest in numbers or words. I still don't have. Because I've been a visual person from the start, and my mom is also into art. So I guess gene is me. But my mom is also good at English. Uh, so I was 12, and I didn't know how to read, and I had joined theater. This is the story of English. तो स्क्रिप्ट दिया हाथ में तो मुझे तो नहीं समझ में आया कुछ, तो ये क्या है, तो ये स्क्रिप्ट है, अच्छा वो अच्छा स्क्रिप्ट में शब्द होते हैं, अच्छा. So then we started learning Hindi and English both, because the script was in Hindi and English. So we took 6 months, but me and Ajay kind of worked out and हमने सीख लिया. तो रियलाइज है जब अगर कुछ मोटिव है तो मैं सीख पा रहा था, और कुछ नहीं है तो इट वाज लाइक वेरी बोरिंग. सेम विथ मैथ्स. I'm like horrible at maths. When I had to buy something, और मैंने मम्मी को पूछा कि चाहिए खरीद के दो, तो उसने मुझे दुकान में भेज दिया. तो that's how like I got to know maths to catch up. मैंने 100 रुपए दिए हैं, और अगर 40 रुपए की चीज है, I should get 60 back. I didn't come back with any money. So I went back and told them, "Acha, you have cheated me. Now I've learned." So uh, all my maths and English has been like that, local stuff. Either it's theater, or it's traveling, or it's just talking to random strangers. Yeah,
Wow. And now
and
you,
films. Sorry, films.
and
A lot of films.
mhm. And now you create scripts, you film them, and yeah, you do dialogues and so many more things. And so yeah, so the point that you are making is that when that motivation is from inside, it was easier for you to learn. Until then it was like, oh, this is boring, why do I need to do this, why should I
जब
do
तक
this?
वो नीड पैदा नहीं हुआ, मतलब मोटिवेशन एज इन, उसके
Mhm.
पहले नहीं जरूरत थी. लाइक लिटरली आई डिडंट टॉक टू फॉरेनर्स, और आई डिडंट वांट टू लर्न
Mhm.
मैथ्स, बिकॉज़ सच्ची में नीड नहीं थी.
Mhm.
आई थिंक इट्स,
Wow.
फॉर मी इट्स नीड बेस्ड. जब भी
Yes,
कुछ नीड होता है, जस्ट पिक इट अप.
you pick it up. इनफैक्ट मैं ये सारी चीजें घर पे देखती हूँ, बिकॉज व्हेन माय चिल्ड्रन आर हैव द नीड फॉर समथिंग, एंड व्हेन आई से ओके, यू नीड इट, you get it for yourself, or you do it for yourself, वो automatically they learn those skills to do it. So my daughter Tara भी पढ़ना start की है because her brothers refuse to read whatever she wants to type, wants to read from her iPad, या to type into her iPad. So she got fed up of waiting for one of us to do it for her, और खुद पढ़ना लिखना सीख ली. So yes, need जब होती है तब बहुत चीजें होती है. And Ayush, I'm very inquisitive about your journey into coding and creating game plugins and a lot of things around this. I know your mom and dad both were into software development. Um, So, did it come through them, or
No,
it just happened?
it didn't actually. Almost very little came from them. My dad sort of refused to help, not because he did not know or he knew or what, but because what he knew was completely irrelevant to what I wanted to learn.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
my mom also tried helping, but whatever she knew was outdated by 10 years. So
Okay.
both of them were not of help. um, I had started on this journey because, I mean, not because, but when in Arohi, this not a desire, but just some sort of external sort of influence on what I want to do, sort of like do what you want to do, make a career out of what you want to do, and then just Unity or game development just came up from that as an external
Mhm.
influence. um,
Mhm.
it wasn't anything internal, and I didn't excel at Unity or making game because I didn't understand anything. I was copying code and I was pasting it and I was downloading stuff and I was trying to make something out of it, but I didn't understand anything. Then later on, when I came to Pune, I got complete freedom, control, anarchy, everything. So then I started playing Minecraft day in day out. um, then I originally, me and my brother would share accounts. We had one account and we had one computer. um, then my brother got his own account, so he would play on my mother's laptop because I would hog the computer. um, because I mean, then he got a better computer than me eventually, so then I would be envious of his computer. Yeah. And then but then I from this, like from playing Minecraft so much, I learned about Minecraft servers. So essentially they're like, you want to play multiplayer, you join a server and you play with your friends or whoever, some random people or whatever. So, and they have these plugins which allow you to modify stuff in the game through code instead of through, like, I don't know, internal stuff. Like you can modify
Mhm.
stuff in the game by clicking and stuff, but through code it's of course different. It's like an application. So
Mhm.
I wanted to run my own server, and because I wanted to run, I actually did for a while, and it was in complete losses. Um, but I created a few plugins for that. I downloaded a few plugins for that, and then I was just learning how to modify them and create my own, and that made me fairly relatively proficient in Java, where I was able to
Mhm.
understand stuff. And then a lot of people say if you understand one language, you understand a lot of others because
Right.
the core concepts are very similar.
Similar.
So
Mhm.
later on, me and my mom just joined this data analytics course because I joined because it had like ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning and stuff, and I was interested in all that. um, I didn't do that. I mean, like, I just joined the course and then I got fed up and then I didn't touch it after that. But right now, recently, I've been exploring blockchain development. So, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other places. And then I went back into that data analytics and stuff, and I got into natural language processing. Um, so it's like, it's the stuff we speak and it does
Wow.
stuff.
Mhm.
So
Wow. I feel I am so outdated right now. Apart from starting the computer using the internet and Word, Excel, PowerPoint, I don't know anything more than that. So wonderful. I'm also going to throw the platform open to all our viewers now. Um, could y'all can start asking your questions. I will put them up for both Ayush and Qudrat to answer. So do start putting down your questions in the comments section, and I'll share them. So we already have one question which I think has got covered. If I understand correctly, Kudrat has not been to a formal school at all. What's his experience of learning, knowing to read and write? So he's just shared. I just asked the same question. Kudrat, if there's anything else you want to share around reading, writing, or that's about it.
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. So while we are waiting for our viewers to ask more questions, um, uh, would you all like to talk a little about your future? What are your future plans, or do you all have any plans, or how do you want your life to be? And so
Ayush goes first.
He's thrown me in the pit. Yeah. So right now I've been trying to do different things, but no long-term plans like 10 years down the line or anything. But in a short-term span, I'm here for a while, and in this community that is forming here, I've become invested. Um, and in that I want to support this community even financially and otherwise. So I've been learning how to earn. It's not a bad thing otherwise, also just learning how to make money off of what I'm doing, whatever that is. um, and I'm doing quite different things. There's the natural language processing I was talking about, and then I make music from time to time, um, animations, so different stuff like that.
mhm.
So
Wow.
that's, I mean, like there, but there are no plans like, oh, I have this, I have that. Like get a car, go to the apply for this college or some. I don't have a lot of plans in life.
Okay. Mhm. What about you, Kudrat?
Uh, so ऐसे कुछ था नहीं, but recently a lot of development has happened. So so as you know, I started calling some unschoolers randomly बीच में, कोरोना के बीच में, to my place, and the reason for that was कि one is that I need friends. Second is I believe when we are together, we even if we don't do anything, there is something or another, and somehow we keep engaging. Even if हम लोग सेम ही कमरे में हैं और सब लोग पूरा दिन कंप्यूटर ही चला रहे हैं, there will be a point कि एक point में आके तुम कुछ साथ में करोगे. So one of my ambitions is to create a space where वैसे तो ऑल ओवर इंडिया क्रिएट करना है, बट टू क्रिएट अ हाउस वेयर एटलीस्ट एक टाइम पे 15 अनस्कूलर्स रह रहे हैं, एंड दे आर मैनेजिंग द होल हाउस, they are
Hmm.
managing the whole money system, they are managing the whole entertainment, and basically it's their own thing, and they can do whatever they want to do, and they can learn whatever they want to learn together. uh, so that's one of the things I want to do, uh, for which I'm doing my own bit,
Yes.
which is right now focus on my craft. That's it.
Mhm. Yes. In fact, this noble idea of Qudrat to bring together unschoolers and to create something together, to work on project ideas together, was something which inspired my son also to go and stay with them for 5 months and to explore a different kind of living. And yeah, I see Aditya come back with so much more, so well sorted out, in fact, in many areas. So, okay, there is a question which I'm going to relay now. How do you explore, or just gut feelings or things come to you on their own, or you struggle to know a particular field? So, wow. So, how do you know what you want to learn more about or explore more about?
Um, I guess I'll answer this first. Maybe Kudrat can go after me. But it if I were to say in the start, it's out of boredom. Um, you get bored of something, whether that's doing nothing or that's doing something. Um, so when I left school, I was doing nothing. I got bored of doing nothing, I guess, and then I went to ROE. And well, I mean, ROE was something. Let's leave that aside. Then I didn't have a structure. I got bored of, I don't know, coding, so I explored animation. Um, or I was doing nothing for a bit, and animation just was something that just came in front of me, and I was like, I want to try exploring this. And then I got bored of animation after a while, and um, I was doing nothing again. Um, Sometimes you need to do nothing to do something. I mean, like, something genuinely comes to you when you are um, just not jumping from one thing to another. You're just waiting, not waiting also, you're not expecting it to come or anything to happen, but you get a desire to go out, or you get a desire to do something, or you get a desire. And that's what I mean by out of boredom.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Yeah.
that's what it's meant for me.
Mm-hmm. Just today, we've had a post on our Homeschooling India group that talks about the importance of boredom and how parents, nowadays don't allow their children to get bored. They keep filling up their space by one activity, another activity, this, just trying to keep them busy. And here you are saying that boredom is what helps you find out what you want to do next. So, Kudrat, what do you have to say?
Uh, for me, it's very different. Uh, I wouldn't say boredom, but nothingness. Yeah, that helps. Uh, अगर कुछ नहीं होता तो there might कुछ हो जाता है. That it makes sense. It makes sense. For me, however, it's I don't. You might find it weird, but it's अजीब because शुरुआत से I was very keen on art. It was there. It kind of was. और मैं था मतलब मैं करते गया just I just started doing it, and maybe it was me trying to communicate, or I don't know what is that, but I just started doing it and I just started uncovering it, and the whole curiosity of how that particular thing works or where it comes from and what can I do with it, it just struck me. Even like when I was in Shikshantar, they give you a bottle and they say that अच्छा इससे कुछ भी बना सकते हो तो just it just opens up कि अच्छा oh I can make a ring out of it अच्छा तो for me it has been that it's been that customizable or design yeah, that design factor is the main thing for me. I don't know, that is just attractive और वो शुरुआत से ही है and I can't explain it, it's just there.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. So this, you feel that your desire to do anything related to creating something, designing something related to art is something that's innate in you. It has always been there, and that kind of whenever you see an opportunity to create something, you immediately jump to it. So you may be bored at that time, or you may not be bored at that time, so that has nothing to do with it. So yes, that brings in something else that we keep trying to tell our parents on Homeschooling India group, that every child is unique, every individual is unique. So what may be true to me may not be true to you, and you need to do your own inner work to understand and yourself better. And that brings us back to what Ayush was saying, awareness. How aware are you? Are you really aware? Do you really know what you want, what you desire, what is it, that what is coming from within you? So, and on so, Shraddha, would you like to say something before we kind of go on towards closing? It's already 1 hour. Uh,
I would like to ask both of them if they could share some of their creations. Like both of them are visual artists. I know
mhm.
about Ayush. I know about Qudrat that he has a podcast. So if you can share, so people know about it.
शेयर स्क्रीन करना पड़ेगा इसके लिए.
We can send you the links, or we can
Should
talk about it a bit and share it. Ayush goes first.
So I
Maybe some
mean,
music, Ayush. Some music that you've created.
so recently I started posting my music through. So Qudrat started posting his music, and he has a subscription to DistroKid, which allows him to post it on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. So I've been using his subscription to post my music also.
Okay.
So most of the stuff is like just incomplete, just sounds. I'm just experimenting with that. But whatever I've completed, I've started uploading it through his. So 2 tracks are like up on like Apple Music and Spotify, and listen to it there so I get money.
That's a good idea. So why don't at the end of the session, maybe if you all can send me the links to all these, even Kudrat's blog and his vlog, as well as these Spotify and other accounts. If you all send us links to these, I'll share them along with this video, so people can view and see the kind of work that y'all are doing. I think if I should have thought about this earlier, maybe I could have shared something, right on the screen for everybody to view. But nevertheless, let's share the links. Y'all will get more money with every hit. That will also be good. And yeah, we do have a few more comments coming in saying, Kudrat, your YouTube videos are really creative and funny. Then we have another one saying, Super Bayush. I think that was when you spoke about boredom bringing in. I think that was when the comment came in. So it's already 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 minutes, and we've had a lovely session with you so far. I can see that both of y'all are in a very intense mood with बहुत बहुत सोच रहे हो बहुत चीजों के बारे में, and that's the beauty of it, because it's sometimes all of us are in this mood where we are introspecting, thinking, going more and more inwards. And in fact, if you see Kudrat's latest podcast, you'll get a glimpse into that inward journey. So, on that note, I would like to say thank you. Thank you so much, Kudrat and Ayush, for being on our show. And thank you, Shraddha, for being my co-host. And lovely. Let's catch up sometime soon. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.